Martin, we're it gets much easier as we know. We play City at the weekend, which is great. Nice game. Later kickoff so the TV cameras can catch it as well, which is fantastic. Are you remotely looking forward to this, or remotely thinking that we can do anything? I mean, it's hard to think so, but
Well, when we played them in the Carabao Cup early on in the year, we were fantastic that night. Without question, our best performance of the season in any game, I would say. I thought we were great that night, but we were fearless. We had nothing to lose. They weren't really that interested, not really, were they? They had a really off day, but we had a go at them, and I think you have to have a go at them. We've got nothing to lose. You've got to go and have a go at them. No, I don't. I think it'll either be tentative and a little bit tight, or they'll absolutely destroy us. Haaland's obviously going to probably be fit. Whether he starts is another matter. I'm on Twitter now reading some of Ruben's comments from today. I think he'd go with a false 9 at the weekend, from what he's saying. I don't think he'd start Mara or Tallball. I don't think he'd play either of them, because he's saying it. You know, he could play a false 9. He's got his own idea on the identity. Nonsense. It's very clear how he can make this adjustment. So, okay, he's not going to play an out-and-out front man. I don't see where the goals are going to come from for us. I just don't. Gineppo was good that night, from what I remember. Not really seen him again since, but he was really good that night, wasn't he? Thought he can get a bit of momentum. Scored an absolute wonder goal that night. Another player comes in the side, gets chopped out. That's all we did with Teller in the 2 years prior to him going out alone. Comes in the side, goes out the side. We don't give players any consistency. Honestly, it's mismanaged top to bottom, this football club. It is scary what a mess we're going to be in, because we will get relegated. There's no doubt we will get relegated now. I don't think for a minute we're stable. I don't know what you two think. But God, this summer is going to be mega for this football club. The overhaul. And relegation, I was there the last two, probably like you two. I said to a few fans this week, it bloody hurts. Mm-hmm. Your football club getting relegated. And I don't see anything out of this weekend. I see nothing.
Mm. Yeah, Mike. He obviously, Martin's just mentioned the R word. What do you reckon? I think it's pretty evident. A lot of us are feeling it. But what's your? Are you still optimistic while it's mathematically possible? Or?
Absolute blasphemy. How dare you? No, it's one of those things that look, we've got 9 games to go. We've got City at the weekend. We've still got to play Arsenal. We've got Liverpool at home. These fixtures are running out, and they're getting harder. And, much to the conversation earlier, when we're playing sides that don't come at us, it's almost even worse. So I look at this weekend's fixture and think there are no free hits anymore. We've effectively got 9 cup finals that we have to win. And, you get 3 points and things are very, very different. In terms of the R word, the dreaded R word, I was there for the last ones, and they do hurt. And, you kind of... It really does hurt. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And when you see that line go red and the letter R put next to it, it's even worse. But it's but yeah, no. I until it's mathematically impossible, then there's always that little glimmer of hope. And there are some pretty awful teams just above us. And equally, some of those teams might not get another win for the rest of the season, but either way you look at it, we're 4 points behind everyone else, with not a great goal difference. I think only Bournemouth and Forest have a worse goal difference than us. So, you could say, well, that's, an extra point advantage and stuff like that. I'm saying this before we play City. So it's still, looking favourable on that regard. But we haven't got a great goal difference, compared to the other relegation fine sides. But a lot of those sides are playing each other this weekend. But yeah, that was a very long answer to your question, that wasn't it? But I would say there's still a glimmer, but that's only down to the other clubs.
Yeah, that's it. And looking at it, it is 4 points between us and 15th. It's never been as tight as it is this season. 6 points between us and 13th. And you do look at clubs. Palace got a big 3 points against Leicester, but before they were in complete free fall. And you're looking at clubs like Forest who are just free falling. Bournemouth actually is showing a bit of fight. I've got to give it to them, they are, but Leicester looking bang in trouble as well. So we're not alone. We're certainly not. Everton struggling to get things out, although they did get a big point against Tottenham, but so did we. So that doesn't say a lot, does it? So there's chances. There is chances, but I'm not overly hopeful. And to be honest, that goal difference that we've got at 24 is pretty embarrassing when you consider there's a 6-goal swing between us and Bournemouth had a 9-0 earlier in the season to Liverpool. So that's it's not particularly encouraging at all. Let's be positive and focus on this weekend's opponents a little bit. Then, Martin, we are facing Manchester City, who we do actually seem to be a little bit of a bogey side for Pep, which is odd. You mentioned we probably going to set up with a false nine and things like that. Who do you think, and over past visits to St Mary's especially, because there's been I seem to remember there was a few grumbles from, I think it was Ruben Diaz said the pitch was so small and things like that when he played, and he got a bit annoyed. But who do you think is the real danger man? I mean, it's got to be one man in it.
They don't travel down here very well. I don't know why. Maybe they don't come down here early enough. Maybe they should fly down tonight, because they're obviously going to fly down. Maybe they need a couple of days to settle on the south coast. But danger man, I think Jack Grealish was fantastic for him the weekend. I think he's just come into some really, really good form. Obviously Foden's unavailable at the moment. I think he'll still be unavailable the weekend, but he's in some really, really good form. I saw snippets of the game the weekend against Liverpool, and he's absolute dynamite. And Mahrez on the other side, they're both really good. They're a superb side. They play such good football. They'd be really, really tough to play against. But I think Grealish is he's never great when he plays down here, but I bet you he plays well the weekend. You guarantee that.
Yeah, you can. It's always the way, isn't it? Always the way. Certain players will show up when they come and play. Yeah, I think the man on everyone's lips is can he get another hat trick? Is obviously Erling Haaland. I think he's I can't remember how many goals away, but I think he's only something stupid like 6 goals away from breaking the all-time record in the longest season, playing in a short season in his first year in the Premier League, which is absurd. Mike, how much does that man strike fear into you, or since the Carabao Cup, are you sort of less worried about the prospect of Erling Haaland?
I think I'm always worried. I mean, I was at the Etihad for the away fixture where we lost 4-0, and that just looked silly. I mean, I think Haaland up front for them, it almost felt like he was playing with school kids, like an exhibition event, because it just looked ridiculous. And it was just a case of when, I think, when we were watching that performance. But you mentioned 2 players there. Foden, who's not going to feature. I think it was it Canelo who was playing on the left side, and the sort of overlap between Foden and Canelo was absolutely wrecking us at that Etihad game. So the fact that those 2 players aren't going to be there is got to be a positive. But again, you look at that performance that they came to play us in the cup, and we were all very, very shocked with that. They were very, very flat in that game, and we were playing without fear. And I think even the fact that we had Diallo on the pitch and Djenepo was starting, all of us were thinking like, oh, okay, this will be a nice night out. Let's see how this goes. And then we're completely caught off guard with a 2-0 win. I mean, for us to get a clean sheet against City was a shock enough. So yeah, you've always got to look at these games and think there is something there. But Haaland is something else. And the fact that we don't have a Salasu fit, the fact that we don't have Bella Kotchat available, and we're probably going to be working with Bednarek and Kalatakar, that's my worry, because he's going to ruin them. He's going to absolutely ruin them. And just saying it out loud is kind of striking fear in my heart for Saturday evening. But, we've got to go out, we've got to be fearless and just play our game and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think hope is all we can do. I am gonna ask you two for a score prediction. I want to get you to put your neck on the line. Martin, what do you reckon? Do you reckon we can get anything, or do you reckon the Nordic Shea Adams puts us to bed?
I don't think we'll score in a month of Sundays, but they put 4 past Liverpool, so I think they put 5 past us, maybe 6. I'm going 5-6-0 City. De Bruyne, we didn't touch on De Bruyne. He's just started to tick again now. He's coming back into form, and like they'll be looking to put pressure on Arsenal. Arsenal don't play till Sunday, and obviously I don't see them losing the game, City, between now and the end of the season. They will go for it now, big time. You know, he's such a good manager, isn't he? He just gets the best out of this. Like, I always talk about goalkeepers. Ederson's my favourite goalkeeper in the league. I was reading an article on him today. They reckon like his range of passing is just superb. He's like his distribution is just brilliant. I think, yeah. So cutting a long story short, I think we'd be 6-0. I'll go into 6-0.
Yeah, we forgot to mention the fact that the cup, it was Ortega in goal and it wasn't Ederson. That's a good point. And Ortega was caught about 50 yards off his line sleeping when Gineppo put it over him. So can't see those sort of mistakes happening this weekend. Mike, any better than 5 or 6-0, or are you much of the same opinion?
Crikey, it's caught me off guard. That is, I got to shoot our live show after this. I'm feeling rocked after that. That's, oh my word. Do you know what? Just to counterbalance it, I'm going to go 1-0 Saints. Boom. And that's with my heart. Absolute heart. You know, we've got to, hold back and Bednarek's going to have a masterclass, and it's going to be, it's going to be 3 points on the board. That's what my heart says.
I like it. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the other thing to bear in mind, actually, is they got Bayern Munich in a week. So whether or not there'll be a lot of caution in that Man City side, wanting to make sure that they get a good start in the in the Champions League, which has got to be on their minds. Who knows?
It's a good point. Pepper's, it's the only thing he hasn't managed, isn't it, so far with City, is the Champions League. So that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, solely based on that one, I think we'll be 1-0 because we're not going to keep a clean sheet, and we'll force Ruben Diaz into an own goal because we won't score ourselves. We'll sleepily let in a goal, no doubt. But yeah, I'll go with a draw just so we got one of every result possible.
Nice.
We can't lose. Thank you everybody very, very much for tuning in for this one. Your support is super appreciated all the time. If you want to be notified of when we upload a video, subscribe to our YouTube, click the notification, and you will be notified every single time a video goes up. We are also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Just search the Southampton Way podcast. You'll find us. We are on all main podcast providers as well. So you can download it for your journey. Do what you like with it, really. Don't mind what you do. It's just there if you want it. Thank you very much for joining me, chaps. Thank you, Mike. I'll put all of the boys' descriptions in the description, all of their links in the description. And be sure to go over and check out MatchdayVlogs if you're a Saints fan. It's always a brilliant watch.
It's a good watch. My daughters watch it. They love it. Absolutely
even
love
if
it.
we're shit, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody, and hope to see you next week. 3 points richer, as always.